Welcome, friends, to our channel. If you're new here, we're all about sharing heartwarming tales of our furry friends' adventures. Today, we're diving into a story that's bound to make you wag your tail with joy. This is the story of a curious little puppy named Max and his big adventure into the great unknown. If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share our stories with your friends and fellow animal lovers. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the story of Max's woodland adventure. Meet Max, a playful puppy with a heart full of curiosity and a nose that never rests. Max is a ball of energy, always ready for a new adventure. His backyard is his kingdom, a realm full of scents and sounds that ignite his playful spirit. And today it's a bustling squirrel that's caught his attention. The squirrel, with its bushy tail and quick movements, is a mystery Max can't resist. His little paws twitch with excitement, his tail wags like a flag in the wind, the chase is on. Through the tall grass, past the old oak tree, Max follows the squirrel with unbridled enthusiasm. And then, a sight that stops him in his tracks, the edge of the woods. The squirrel vanishes into the thick foliage, and Max, ever the adventurer, trots after it. Just like that, our little adventurer made his way into the woods, his tail wagging with anticipation. The woods were a new world for Max, filled with towering trees, vibrant flowers, and the gentle murmur of a nearby brook. Our adventurous pup was awestruck by these wonders that stretched out before him. The air was different here, fresher, filled with the scent of pine and damp earth. The ground beneath his paws was soft, a carpet of fallen leaves and moss that squished pleasantly with each step. Max's ears pricked up at the symphony of sounds around him. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, the whispering breeze all made up an orchestra of nature's finest music. He scampered along the forest floor, his tail wagging in pure delight. His journey through the woods was not a lonely one. Along the way, he met the locals of this leafy metropolis. A friendly deer with eyes as soft as the morning dew crossed his path. They shared a moment, the deer allowing Max to sniff and explore her presence before she gracefully moved on. Next, he encountered a raccoon, its mask-like eyes twinkling with mischief. They shared a snack, a bonding moment in the wilderness. An ancient owl, wise and watchful from his perch high above, observed the young pup with a knowing gaze. Max was a small creature in the grand scheme of the woods, but he was not insignificant. He was a part of the cycle, a participant in the dance of life that swirled around him. With each new encounter, Max's adventure grew richer, his heart fuller, and his curiosity, well, curiouser. In the heart of the woods, Max met a friendly deer, a curious raccoon, and a wise old owl. Each encounter was a new adventure for our playful puppy. First, he came across a graceful deer, nibbling at the lush green leaves. Max, always up for a game, picked up a fallen twig with his mouth and wagged his tail, inviting the deer to play. To his delight, the deer understood and they spent a joyful time playing fetch, the twig flying back and forth between them. Next, Max found a curious raccoon rummaging through the underbrush. Max, being a good-natured fellow, shared his snack of biscuits that he carried in his little backpack. The raccoon, surprised and grateful, quickly became a new friend. Finally, Max encountered a wise old owl perched high in a tree. The owl, with its deep knowing eyes, seemed to impart some ancient wisdom to Max. Even though Max couldn't understand the owl's hoots, he felt a strange sense of calm and connection. These adventures filled Max's day with joy and excitement. He was learning so much about the world, making new friends, and having the best time. However, amidst all the fun, Max didn't realize that he had wandered off too far from home. He was deep into the woods, far from his familiar backyard. Max was having the time of his life, but amidst all the excitement, he had wandered off too far. Suddenly, Max realized he was alone, lost in the vastness of the woods. The once vibrant forest now seemed daunting, the towering trees like giants looming over him. The playful chirping of birds now echoed ominously in the silence. Max felt a pang of fear in his little heart. He was just a puppy after all, in a big, big world. Max tried to retrace his steps, his tiny paws patting against the leaf-strewn ground. The scent of the flowers, the rustling of the leaves, everything seemed unfamiliar now. He whimpered, the sound echoing around him, a stark reminder of his solitude. But then Max paused. He remembered something, a sound, a voice. His ears perked up. It was the sweet, comforting voice of his owner. He remembered the gentle calls of his name, the loving tone that always meant safety. Just when things were looking bleak, Max heard a familiar sound. It was his owner's voice calling his name. Guided by the sound of his owner's voice, Max scampered through the underbrush, his heart pounding in his chest. The once intimidating forest now felt like a welcoming maze, guiding him back to the familiar. The sound of his owner's voice grew louder, a beacon of comfort in the wilderness. The joy that surged through Max when he finally saw his owner was indescribable. His tail wagged like a flag in the wind, his eyes sparkled with relief and love. His owner, too, couldn't contain the joy that welled up inside. He dropped to his knees, wrapping his arms around Max in a warm, comforting hug. His voice was thick with emotion as he whispered, "Good boy, Max, you're home." Tired but happy, Max and his owner made their way home, their bond stronger than ever. And as for Max, he couldn't wait for the next adventure. Our woodland adventure with Max has come to a joyous end, but the journey doesn't stop here. If you enjoyed Max's adventure, show your love by giving this video a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to our channel. We'd love to hear from you too. Let us know in the comments where you and your furry friends are watching from. We're excited to take you along on more of Max's adventures. Until then, keep exploring and stay curious just like Max. See you in the next video.